Okay. So first things first, I'm gonna look at Void Pal. Now this guy DM'd me on Discord. He's from the How to Priest Discord, one of the members there, and he's having some troubles with DPS. And looking at Goroth, which is a good fight to compare stuff with just general rotation stuff. I will take a look at it. So first things first, I'm just going to look at his damage patterns. Void Bolt roughly has, a 4.5 second cooldown, and then, that gets reduced by haste. 45 Void Bolt casts in this time seems really low. So what I'm going to do now is look at his Void form. And his Void form uptime is definitely bad. So yeah, he's hitting 48 stacks right here. So I'm going to go ahead and make some queries. For Void form, yep, we're gonna create that, and then we're gonna make one for, actually, let's see, does he have Owl? No, he doesn't have the Owl trinket, so that's fine. So we could just settle with just the Void form, and I'm gonna look at casts, and I'm just gonna zoom into this last bit right here to find out why he actually fell out of Void form. And I think the reason, actually, redo that. I'm going to go over his entire Void form. And what I'm looking for here is I'm going to look at Void Bolts and make sure they're kind of evenly spaced. You can see where there's some delays in the later steps of Void form, which is bad. So let's figure out where he popped Mindbender. So roughly 39 seconds, so we have to go back and look at Void form again, and 39 seconds is, okay, yeah, it was close to 30 stacks, so that's pretty good. So we're gonna look at Mindbender. It was good timing. Alright, Mind Blast and Mind Flay. So, in Void Torrent it was early, that's good. Let's see here. So let's take off Flay. So I'm not really seeing why. Alright, Lycan, you could be next after I go through this guy's logs. So I'm not really seeing why he dropped out of Void form. It might just be because he has too low of haste, and he doesn't have Cephas or Belt. So that's honestly probably the main reason right there. Nope. Alright, so yeah, we're gonna look at this next one. And I can already tell right now he didn't have Mindbender. So yeah, he dispersed, I think, to try and hold it to Mindbender. And yeah, let's see. Yeah, he dispersed to hold Mindbender, and then he fell out. And I think the problem is right here. Yeah, his Void Bolts got spaced out too much. So, yeah, not having the belt and flaying a little too much is definitely part of it. But the Void Bolt, oh, okay. Oh, okay. Wait, you don't have 4-piece? Oh, well, that also is a big problem. So, okay, taking that into account, this actually looks pretty good for not having 4-piece then. You're getting 48 stacks, for the most part. So, I mean, there's not really a whole lot you can do about it. Now, looking at the one that you actually linked me to, which was Fallen Avatar, you have 3-piece? Yeah. So you have 3-piece in this one. No 4-piece yet. And you got Cephas, so congrats on that, dude. So let's go look at your Void form again. Because that's going to be able to tell us where your DPS is falling off mainly. Like, I'm just going to glance and, okay, your uptime on dots is good. Void Bolts is a lot better this time over a longer fight. Why is it showing? Oh, I need to fix that. God damn it. Alright. Wood Pal, Void Form. Alright, let's fix that. Okay. So, looking at your 3-piece, okay, you hit 52 stacks, 47, 47, 43, crappy, crappy, 45, crappy. Okay, so let's look at these crappy ones. So let's look at this crappy one and figure out what happened here. Okay, you didn't have Bender, probably just because of the last Void Form. So I'm going to have to go all the way back here and figure out where you popped your Mindbender at, which you didn't. Okay, so that's the issue right there. You have like a solid minute where you just didn't use Mindbender, and it was definitely off cooldown at one point. So if it wasn't off cooldown in this Void Form, it was off cooldown in the next Void Form. So that is definitely an issue. Okay, well, either way, on the second Void Form right here, you should have used Dispersion, as long as it wasn't on cooldown, which Dispersion, it might have been. Let's see, 255, so that would be, oh god, I'm good at math, I promise. 330. Sorry, 430. So, yeah, it would have been a little rough, but you should have been able to do it. You should have been able to disperse while you were falling down. Maybe. It can get a little rough on that fight, so I wouldn't stress it too much. But yeah, like your Void Form uptime is the main culprit to lower DPS there. I mean, you didn't do terrible overall. You could do a lot better. Just to compare, I'll pull my log off of Mal'Ganis because that's way easier. Alright. So, the compare tool is actually really nice for this kind of stuff too. Alright, so my kill was way faster, so I'm just going to cut it off to like right there, where my kill ended. And I'm just going to compare us side by side. Now, keep in mind, I do have the 4-piece. I also do have the belt, so that's part of it. But, like, you can see, I mean, there's also a disparity with our gear, I'm pretty sure. We both have 52 points. I have better item level. You have a fuck ton of socket soap. Like, good God, man. And somehow you still don't have enough haste. Yeah. That's fine though. So looking at our Void Form uptimes comparatively, I had slightly higher Void Form uptimes, but let's actually pull up our Void Form uptimes together. Or, you know, not. Void Form. Boom. Great pin. Okay. I guess we just can't do that. Not like that. Alright, so you see, like, this is the 4-piece difference, mainly. And as you continue to go on in the fight, mine keep going higher. I think I actually fell here. Or got something mechanical bullshit. But, like, up until that point, I'm beating you on Void Form quite a bit. And part of that is the 4-piece, yes, but part of it's also play, getting good at movement, that kind of thing. Just a quick thing about your stats, I would try and drop some of your crit into haste, and you need slightly more mastery, but that will come as you get better gear. You can link logs in chat, that's fine. Yeah, I'll probably do a VOD of this after. It's a very loose format. It's not a YouTube video or anything like that. I'm literally doing this log analysis as it comes. So let's look at Maiden of Vigilance. My guild killed it faster, but you actually did more DPS than I did. I think I died. Maybe. I don't know. I kind of suck at Maiden, so... Did I die? Nope, I did not die. I just suck. Alright. So, okay, my Void Form uptime is better here. However, that was only slightly better. Yeah, because I ended up fucking up here, and I think it was a shift or something. I had a bomb. But, like, even with slightly more Void Form uptime, I had more Void Bolts. I had more dot damage. And I had more Mind Blast damage, which is part of the belt. But you're also using Piercing Anguish. So, I mean, you're using Thurible, and I don't know if that's just because you don't have anything better, but, yeah. So, let's look at DI, and then I'm going to move on to other logs. But, I mean, do you get where I'm coming from? You're not even in this DI log. Never mind. But you get where I'm coming from with, you know, like, where your issues are. Not in this one either. Okay, there you are. Okay, yeah. I mean, like, if you have nothing better, then fine. Like, it happens. Let's see. Yeah, you did pretty good on this. You even got more Void Bolts than I did, which I think is part of Void Form uptime. Yeah. You're probably either in the Corporeal realm or your ads live forever or something, just because mine don't live at all. One thing you can definitely improve here is your Twist of Fate uptime. And that's just the sniping or, you know, running into the Spirit Realm or the Above Realm and dotting something that's low and will be low for a while to proc TOF. That's something you can definitely do. Yeah. So you got lucky there. Okay, so let's look at Lycan's logs. Oh boy, I'm gonna translate that. Okay, Desolate Host Mythic, no thanks. I'm gonna go with Goroth. Or not. Lycan, which priest are you? I need to know that. Okay, well, until Lycan tells me that. Oh, okay. The worst one. Of course. Alright. I mean, you're still doing really good. I don't see what your issue is here. Like, you have decent Void Form uptimes. Really good stacks, actually. Are you trying to troll me right now? You don't need your logs analyzed. You're not struggling. No, that sucks, dude. Like, I hate guilds that private log, man. Like, there's no fucking reason to private log. Who are you hiding your logs from? Huh. But yeah, dude, like, you're doing good. I don't see why you're complaining. You got a 96% parse. Oh. Well, hi, buddy. Hi. Welcome to the stream. You're beautiful, and I love you. Okay. Breakerins. Who are you? In this log. Are you the awesome Shadow Priest, or are you the not so awesome Shadow Priest down here? I mean, like, why would you try and poach, like, what kind of guild members do you have if, you know, people are gonna poach? Stupid. Okay. Are you on this Goroth kill? Yes, you are. Thank God. Alright, let's see how you're doing overall. So, your DPS here is okay. Let's see where we can improve it, though. So, your stats look good. And you have Belt and Shoulders. That makes me happy. You're using a 915 Metronome. And you're using a 925 Int Crit Stat Stick. Okay. That is one hell of a Titan Forge, though. Jesus Christ. Warcraft Logs is fucking up. Alright, so, looking at your Void Forms, a 61 stack, a 55 stack, okay. So you had a really short Goroth fight. There's not really too much else you can do with Void Form there. So let's look at other stuff. Twist of Fate is fine. You need to pre-pot. That's a big thing. That actually probably is the biggest thing I'm going to find in this log. Let's see. You had 3 benders. I mean, maybe you could Void Bolt more. But yeah, you can Void Bolt more. A little bit. Like, there shouldn't be this big-ass gap right here or here. Between Void Forms, sure, but you just... Is this your torrent gap? Then fine. But you're torrenting a little late. Maybe it's just mechanics, but... let's look at the Maiden of Vigilance. Okay. So you're doing really good on this. Yeah. Well, like, the problem with, like, private logging is if my guild private logged, I would still log. Like, yeah, okay. Maybe I would make it private, but I need to be able to access my own logs to analyze it. And if the guild's private and I'm not added on, whatchamacallit, you know, on, like, the guild Warcraft log page, then I can't analyze my logs and I can't improve myself. So, yeah, you're doing pretty good on Maiden. Better than I ever do. That's for damn sure. I usually get cucked by fucking RNG. You fucked up your first Void Form, you know that. Good Void Form there. I don't want to look at Void Form. I want to look at... No, not that. Where's the stupid buff from the Maiden? What is the name of that stupid thing? Or is that a debuff? I think it's actually a debuff. Yeah, okay. So, Creator's Grace and... What is it? Unstable Soul? No, that's the bomb. Demon's Vigor. Okay, so both of these, you could have done better. I'm pretty sure the Maiden had 3 leaps. Wrath of the Creators. Yeah, alright, so... Yeah, she had 3 leaps. So, I mean, that's partially on your raid, and that's really the only way I see offhand that you can improve your DPS. Yeah. But, I mean, like, let's look at Avatar. Like, is there a specific fight that you're struggling on? Because, like, your Avatar log's good. That's about what I get. Just gonna look at your buff and check your Void Form. So, yeah, 60, 58, yeah. I mean, your Void Forms are fine. I would have dispersed later, personally, just because the boss was so close to dying. Yeah. Well, no, like, does your raid not understand that the entire raid is supposed to stack? And only one person needs to just sidestep to get it, and everybody gets it. Like, do they not understand that concept? Because they're literally fucking over the entire raid for that. Because they want to be rushing, I guess. Let's see. But if you don't have a specific fight, I'm going to go ahead and move on to another log. But they look fine overall. I don't see any glaring issues on those fights. Actually, one fight I want to look at is Mistress and see your Void Form uptime here. Because this is a lot of problem with a lot of people. Especially right here. What did you do? What did you not do? You did not bend her. Why did you not bend her? guessing you casted Powered Shield for the movement. Yeah, probably for the movement. And killed Jaden. Okay, you don't have a kill Jaden in this log. Let me see if I can pull your kill Jaden log though. Hang on. Oh boy. Oh boy. Okay. I'm gonna pull the log on July 5th since that's your most recent. Alright. So now, first things first, you have to understand that Shadow is not amazing on Kill Jaden. You also died. Yeah, you died at the obelisk. Okay, that's a bad log. Normal. Okay, actually, yeah, this will work. I'm gonna look at a normal log. Because mechanically, it's almost identical. The only thing that KJ doesn't have on normal is the AoE spread on the big bolt of red shit that he fires at the raid. So, okay, looking at this, alright, your Void Form uptime in the very beginning, I'm guessing you push the boss right here. That's good. Probably a movement disperse, but it fucked you right here. So, looking at this, when did you bender? Okay, so you bendered at 321, and why did you bender so early? I don't understand. Looking at your, whoa, your insanity just went into the toilet. Okay, so my guess is, and before I look at this, because I've seen this a lot, and my guess is right here, in this one Void Form, you fucked up the rotation because you were handling mechanics without stutter stepping. And this is not on pull. This is like your second Void Form after he lands in Phase 2. So I can see right here, this is where you fucked up. So you still had the 4-piece from T19, but you have a big gap right here in Void Bolts, which isn't a gigantic thing, but what were you doing there? Let's see, no, you weren't flying, you were blasting, no dispersion, no, okay, so you torrented, that's fine, and then you have a gigantic gap here, where you used dispersion, but there was no reason for you to use dispersion here, so I'm not sure what you were doing. But because you stopped, you stopped casting already, like, right here, your insanity was in the toilet. And you're not channeling Flay. Like, you have a big gap right here. That's the problem. So, like, looking at your insanity right here, this is where it's going to start dropping. Yeah, just looking at that. I know it's kind of hard to make out. So, like, the best thing that you can do for Kill Jaden is it's not a super heavy movement fight. And you can completely plan your movement on that fight up until, like, Phase 3. Like, the Shadow Phase sucks. Like, fuck it. Like, try and find Illidan, dot everything you can, and that's about it. I try and enter Void Form, but, like, when I know we're about to leave, and I'll torrent and everything. And then I'll try and disperse, like, the last bit before we get out. So that way, when we do come out, we stack up for Darkness of 1,000 Souls. I've already got Void Form rolling, and because of Phase 2, I usually still have my dots on Kill Jaden, so I don't need to reapply them. But, like, let's see. Alright, let me look at this one. When is this? Oh, hey, look, this is really recent. Okay. Mistress Prague second night. Well, you can't mind bomb the ads on Kill Jaden. So, like, alright, Void Form uptime is really low here. Yeah, like, I think you actually did the same thing. There's something about this portion of the fight that just fucks with you for some reason. And, like, I'm gonna look at Void Bolts. and then your Void Torrent. Okay, so Void Torrent here, and then big gap of nothing. And you disperse there, okay. That's fine for a big gap of nothing, but then you dropped. You dropped out of Void form right here. So, looking at this, okay, you had 49 stacks when you dropped out. You have almost 13k haste, you have the belt, you have Cephas, you have a lot of crit. Yeah. You cannot stun the ads on Kil'jaeden. I have tried. You can't. It does not trigger Cephas. Like, on Mistress, sure, but on Kil'jaeden, no. You can't stun the little ads there. Bull? Oh, yeah, no, those ads. Yeah, I'm talking about the reflection ads. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah, the Shadow Souls you could totally stun. You could silence them, too. I think you can blink and silence them. I know you can interrupt them. Yeah, the second intermission ads, yes, you can stun. Yeah. Oh, yeah, you could totally do that. Sorry, I'm like focused on here and I'm kind of reading chat as I go. Okay. So like other than those things, dude, like that's all you can really improve on here. I need to open more logs up before I lose them. Okay. So, I mean, that's really all you can do, man. Is you just gotta work on your movement. Yeah, it sucks sometimes if you have to go out of range to soak, but like, I don't know. You can kind of scumbag it and just like be super close and then start channeling Torrent in one. That's what I do, and people usually move out of it for me. The other Shadow Priest, Flash Bulb. Oh God. Well. They have Cephas, they have belts, they have 4-piece. Let's see. Okay, their uptime's fine. Their Void form needs some definite work. Like that's their biggest thing. Like looking at their benders. So I'm gonna make a query just for Void form again. Okay, create pen. Mind bender. Alright. So looking at that. He is using Bender too early. Yeah, like right here, he used Bender at 26 stacks. And then here he used it at 30. But like, he's falling out of Void form big time. Void Torrent. Alright. Excuse me. Alright, so looking at Void Torrent. Okay. This Void Torrent is fine. This Void Torrent is fine. Okay, so he had Void Torrent in this Void form. I don't know why he dropped. And then he had Bender. Okay. He went up to 44 stacks, and then he Void Torrented at 15. And then just dropped with Void Torrent. No Bender on this when he could have Bendered. And then, yeah, he popped Void Torrent and Bender at the same time, which, okay. And then, yeah. So, like, his biggest thing is rotation. Like, that's all he needs to fix, is rotation. Like, I will just pull his first Void Form on the opener. Okay, come on. Why can't I pull any of his casts? Hold on. Okay, first Void Form, because it wouldn't let me zoom properly, apparently. Alright, so, Void Bolts. That's a big thing. So, okay, here's his Torrent. That's fine. But then he has this big gap right here, where he has Bender in there, and he blasted, bolted, flayed, let it channel, then cast Bender, and then Void Bolted, blast, Void Bolt. I don't understand. Like, I think he's just flaying too much. Like, there's a good portion where, like, okay, he's bolting, blast, bolt, blast, bolt, blast. He missed a bolt. Like, he just needs to prioritize his Void Bolt up ahead. Yeah, like, it's gonna come with practice from him. Let's see, moving on to the next log from Meg-O. Alright. Hey, thank you for selecting your priest from the get-go. Let's see. To answer your question, Lycan, quite low on haste. Honestly, dude, get more haste. You do not need 13k fucking crit. Let's see though, like, you have those gloves. Okay, get a new neck. Like, even, like, I know it's gonna suck to drop that neck, but get a neck with haste on it. Haste crit. Or yeah, haste crit. Cause, yeah, man. Hey, then don't complain about low haste. Like, that is your one fix, is swap out your neck. The 955 is not that important. I know it's not your priest. This is your priest. Enturve, right? I'm pretty sure it's your priest. Yeah, and I figured you had Soul the High Priest. Most priests I see with Fortress of the Mind, unless they have no idea what they're doing. Yeah. So let's look at this, how you're doing overall. Okay, your DPS can be a little better. I didn't actually check your item level. 924, okay, your DPS can be a lot better. Well, we have the same item level weapon, so that's cool. Let's see, your dot up times aren't 100%, and I think you died. You died to Infernal Burning, so get behind a pillar. But up until then, let's look at that. So you almost broke 1,000,000. You should have definitely broke 1,000,000. But let's look at your Void Forms. So 54 stacks, 56 stacks, and then 50 stacks, and then you died. Probably trying to run behind a pillar. Yeah, like, and you need to swap your neck, dude. Like, that's the only way you're gonna get more haste. So let's see here. Did you die on? Wow, this is a really short normal fight. How's your DPS here? So, okay. You didn't die this time, and maybe you just didn't have enough time to ramp, but your Void Form suffered here. So, 52 stacks, you really got to stop just using dispersion to bridge whatever gap. But let's see. Like, part of that is not having Belt or Cephas, okay? So you could use a bit more haste and crit, and that'll come with gear. But looking at your Void form, so your Void Bolt's awesome. You owled at the right time. You bendered at the right time. So you could probably actually hold your owl a little bit, because you don't want to use bender and owl at the same time. Your Mind Blasts are good. Okay, that's your Void Torrent. You torrented kind of late, which is probably why you have to disperse later. Like, on Goroth, when you pull the boss, you have about 15 seconds until the first mechanic. Like, well, after that first 15 seconds is when you can torrent. Because before then, you might get a spike under you. You might need to go soak if you're playing on Mythic, that kind of thing. So that's going to be the best thing that you could do, is to move your torrent sooner. And that'll help your DPS and make it so that you don't have to use dispersion to bridge the gap. But yeah, your Void Bolt usage is really good. Could improve your owl usage. Like, that's just like a little minor thing. And obviously don't die. That's the biggest increase in DPS, is to not be dead on the floor. So let's see how you did compared to your group. 1.1 million isn't bad on Inquisition. It could be better. Part of that comes with Cephas and the belt, but with Say Your Prayers, you should definitely, or not Say Your Prayers, that's fucking holy trait. Whatever the High Priest ring, you should be getting better Void forms because of, yeah, 25 is pretty late. Like, there's no gain in Void torrenting later in Void form that is worth torrenting later in Void form. Like, for example, on Kill Jaden, when you first pull the boss, you obviously have to DPS him to a point until he goes into his first intermission. If you can double torrent there, it's always worth it to double torrent there, because your torrent will always be back up by the time the boss comes down and you can DPS again. And that's like the only case in the entire like game that you want to double torrent. But for, you know, the rest of the stuff, like, you wanna torrent early so you don't fuck yourself in your later Void forms, or when you don't have to bridge the gap with dispersion like you've had to do. So, like, the earlier you torrent in Void forms, the more forgiving your Void forms are later on as the fight goes. Hey, you know, I have been able to double torrent once on Kill Jaden, and that was when we first started progressing on him. You should ideally use Void Torrent in the first 10 seconds of Void form. Let's see, Harsatan. I don't expect your DPS to be good on Harsatan. It's actually decent. There's not really a whole lot you can do, though. Let's look at Sisters. Sisters is a weird fight for some people, and I know that. You didn't die. This is a sister change, I'm pretty sure, right here. So, okay. I want to look at... Okay. So she spawns about right here. So this is the area that I'm most concerned with. And I want to look at your Void form here. Okay, so you had just entered Void form. That is, like, perfect. So you didn't need to use your dispersion. But you should have already been in Void form, or your group is phenomenally slow. I don't know. But your first Void form, let's see. Let's look at where it went wrong. Just to double check, okay, yeah, you definitely had the 4-piece. So, alright, your Void Bolt's good, but you torrented late again, which is the issue. And yeah, and you're using Owl there. So, like, honestly, I think if you fix this torrent issue, you'll be a lot better off. But yeah, like, that is really, like, the biggest thing on sisters. And then like right here, let's look at your void form uptime, which is 0%. Why is your void form uptime 0%? What were you doing? Like, this is a very big period. That is weird. Okay. So, I mean, obviously you're in void form. You dispersed at the right time. Okay. So you handled the fight fine. You gotta move that torrent earlier, man. So, like, see your maiden damage. It's good. Your fallen avatar damage is okay. You died. Okay, that's why. So, like, looking at it before then, yeah. Your fallen avatar damage is okay. It's not like great, but there's only so much you can do. You need more haste. You need more crit, and that'll help your fallen avatar because it'll help you get your void forms easier. Yeah, because you're not doing very good on your stacks, so you definitely need to work on movement. And hang on a second, let me. Where are my fucking videos highlights? There we are. Okay. Yeah, like Avatar can be a hit or miss fight, guys. Like you can either do really well and fucking nail the movement, or you can do something like this, which this happens quite a lot. Don't feel bad. I'm not singling you out. This is just a really good example. Like, even in that VOD that I link, I did really good when we had Maiden up. But as soon as we went down, I did good, but my dispersion for some reason just didn't activate. I don't know why. I was spamming the button, but it made me fuck up my void form, but I was able to recover slightly. God, my throat is killing me for some reason. But the biggest takeaway I got from you on this, man, is you just gotta move your void torrent earlier and tighten up your rotation just a little bit, and the rest of it will fix itself. Make sure you owl later as well. I would use... Let's see, what are you wearing? I would continue to use this neck. I'm assuming that you're counting the haste gem in there. But this neck is going to be better. Because you need more haste. Like, you still need crit, yeah. But you need more haste because you don't have Cephas and you don't have the belt. So you need like 14k haste at least to do good. Which sucks. But yeah, I would just keep using your haste versus neck. Like, versatility isn't terrible. It's about even with mastery on single target, and then mastery kind of starts moving away from it slightly on multi-target. But like, haste and crit are going to be your go-tos. But haste, like, far more so than crit. Because haste and crit feed into each other, and like the more haste you have, the better the crit becomes. Even lower values of crit become still good. So that's the best thing I can hope for you, man. Damn it. I hope it helps. Okay, looking on to the next log, which is... I don't even know how to say your name. Celia? Yeah, man, no problem. Just to take a bit of a break here. This is actually going a lot better than I thought it was going to. I posted this on Twitter last week that I was going to do this, and I got no responses. I got like 3 likes, and that was it. And then I was talking to Public last night, and I was like, so I have no logs to analyze for this log analysis stream. Can I have your logs, and are you busy? And we can go over them. And he came up with the suggestion, just ping it up in Shadow Chat, and the response that you guys have given me for this is just phenomenal, and I really appreciate it. I am pinging this person in chat, so that way they know that I'm doing their logs now. But I really appreciate everybody coming by, really. And I hopefully you guys are learning some stuff. I'm also, happy to answer any other Shadow questions, not necessarily about log analysis, just anything. But okay, so now I'm gonna move on, and oh, I like this. Let's go look at Lady Hate Coil because this dungeon DPS matters. All right, so Fallen Avatar, great fight. Let's see how your Void Form uptimes are though. So okay, that already looks kind of bad. So let's see. All right, you have Belt Cephas. Your stats look phenomenal, and you have 4-piece. Excellent. So you got nothing holding you back, and you're 925. So your gear should be around my item level. Just follow me. Oh God, I didn't put my alerts thing on here. Ah shit. Hang on. Crap. Browser source. There we go. Okay. There we go. So, looking at your Void Form uptime, okay, you hit 43 stacks in your first Void Form. So let's take a look at this and see what went wrong. Alright, I really wish I could just stop Shadowy Apparitions from showing up. I'm gonna have to check that, but let's see. Your blasts, okay, your void bolts. Alright, so your void bolts are getting delayed by your something. I don't know. I don't know why you didn't void bolt here sooner. Maybe you were just out of range. But the rest of your void bolts look fine. And then you Bender good. When are you torrenting? Okay. You had to cancel your torrent, didn't you? I'm pretty sure. Yeah. So I am guessing what happened right here was Touch of Sargeras. Actually, there's no reason you should have had to move at all. So I think you just canceled your torrent early there, and that kind of fucked you on your very first Void Form. And then, yeah, it kind of puts you off sync for the rest of the fight, and you can see that. So, like, you need to tighten up your rotation, and thank you. And then, like, your Void Form is going to be the bulk of your damage. And just looking at this, like, your Void Bolt damage suffers, your Mind Blast damage suffers. You had 6 torrents in a 6-minute fight. That's fine. You had 6 bender or 5. You only had 5 benders in an almost 7-minute fight, so you missed an entire bender. You didn't second pot. You only had 2 casts of Owl. Like, and all of this stems from tightening up your rotation in Void Form and getting on movement. So, like, if you actually watch that VOD that I linked up above, preferably not while I'm actually still streaming, but it's actually of this fight, and you can see how I handle it, how I go throughout that, and depending on how the stream goes, I may pug it if people want to see it in action. Looking at Goroth, okay, Goroth would be an excellent fight to see if it's just rotation. I don't know why you dispersed, but 53 stacks, okay. So you got some major issues going on here. Alright, to do... Okay, so you definitely had your 4-piece, you had Belt, you had Cephas, your talents are fine, your stats are okay. You have a lot of crit, but that's fine. Let's see. Give me a second to look at all of this. I'm not sure why you cast Vamp Touch again. There was no reason to do that. Especially on Goroth, since it's a single target fight. Shadow Word Pain while moving? Sure. But you should not be casting it all beyond the opener. So, let's see here. I want to look at why. I'm guessing you dispersed for. Oh, where did my void form go? That's weird. But I'm guessing you dispersed for a mechanic. Hey, thank you for that follow, Garusi. And who followed right before you, actually? Striker6, I appreciate that follow as well. So, looking at your casts. Alright, so Void Bolt. Alright. Your Void Torrent was a little late, but that's fine. You were probably just delaying it for a mechanic. You back-to-backed Mind Blast. Not really sure why, but okay. And you're... Okay. So the biggest issue I see right here is you were flaying way too much. To the point that you're actually delaying a Void Bolt because of it. And it's just stuttering the rest of your Void form. But making sure you're popping Bender at the right time. Let's see. Yep, you pop Bender at the perfect time. Crap. Alright, so let's look at your resources and look at your insanity generation. Okay, so right here, you just started dipping. And then I think you panicked, cast Dispersion, and then it just dropped. And probably because you're dealing with a mechanic or something. So right around here is where the problem in your Void form happened, and why you dropped out early. So, your Dispersion is right here. Okay, Void Bolt. You blasted there, and you flayed. Yeah, like, part of it is just... Maybe you just had bad RNG there. I've fallen out of Void form early a couple times at like 54 stacks. But you shouldn't need to use your Dispersion. So let's see what happened in your next Void form. Okay, so you hit 51 stacks here. That's pretty good. Let's see what happened though. When did you Bender? Okay, so 42. Alright, so you Bendered a tad early, which is why you fell out of Void form early. That's it. So try and just delay your Bender to roughly 30 stacks. Actually, I'm going to look at this and figure out... Okay, so it's right here. So looking at your Insanity... Okay, yeah, you didn't even need to Bender, like, until 30. So you pushed it early. I'm not sure why, but... It's okay. Alright, and looking at your next one, I am guessing you got a mechanic that just fucked you. But Void, okay. So, the biggest issue here is you can use Void Bolt while you were moving. And you did not, okay, you got your full Void Torrent off, but then you have a gap in your Void Bolts. And, like, while you're moving... Like, good. You're casting Shadow Word Pain. That is a good thing. But you don't need to move that much. Like, you on Goroth, you can tell when all the mechanics are coming, and you can stutter step into... And hi, Niley. You can stutter step to the pillars for burning, for the star, anything like that, to the point that you really don't need to move as much as you were. So... That's something that you can definitely improve, and that's what messed you up for the rest of the fight. But before that, you were doing pretty good. You just got some bad RNG. You popped Bender a little early on your second Void form. Not too bad. Let's look at your maiden fight. Okay. Holy crap. Oh, boy. Alright. Let's see what happened in your first Void form. Because I know she leaps. And then, when did you Bender Dispersion? Okay. So, yeah. Well, and it's not bad to press Flay. Like, something I have actually found is it's not a terrible idea to build a bunch of stacks to of the 2-piece in order to like give yourself a big boost of insanity for a bit of extra movement. Like, and I'm talking like I will Void Bolt and then play into my next Void Bolt, and then I will Mind Blast, and that'll push me up to full insanity, so I can then cast Shadow Word Pain, and then I have a Void Bolt, all while moving, and it gives me that little bit extra insanity that I can move. Now, granted, you want to be at like 40% insanity when you start, casting your Mind Blast, otherwise you're gonna fall out of Void Form and then have bigger problems. But the biggest problem I see right here on Maiden is you cast Mindbender before she leapt, and you have to wait until after. So you can look like you're gonna watch DBM or Bigwigs for something called Blowback, and Blowback is the ability of when she leaps. Yeah, like your flay casts aren't bad on Goroth. That's not the issue. You want to go like 28 to 35 stacks, but like the earlier you pop Mindbender, the shorter your Void Form is going to be, and like ideally 30 stacks is good. If you're really good and you have God RNG at the moment, you could probably delay it to like 35, but you're gonna mess up your later Void Forms later. So generally speaking, 30 stacks is the best time to pop Mindbender. But getting back to Maiden, that was the biggest thing, is you cast Bender, she leapt, and you dispersed. Bender doesn't follow her. Or Bender, like, wastes time of being up following her and is generating no insanity. So that's the issue. Right there. But, like, that's just one thing, and that messed up a lot of your Void Forms. So that messed up your next two, like, your first two Void Forms. Then you started to get back here, and then she leapt again, I'm guessing, or you got bomb, which I can check in a second. But yeah, like the best advice I can give you for Maiden is hold your Void Form 2 seconds after you would normally Void Form. So like your first Void Form was not a minute 34. Okay, your first Void Form was 13 seconds into the fight, and she left at 30 stacks. Wow, she left really, really late for you. But, that's really weird. Let me see. Wrath of the Creators, that's what I want to see. Okay, so she left at 46, and at 46, you were at 30 stacks. So ideally, what you want to do is right here, when you see Blowback about to happen, about 2 seconds away from it happening, you want to get your last Void Bolt off, pop Disperse, and start moving. And by the time she leaps, you'll get stunned for like half a second, and you'll move, and you can be about halfway between where she was and where she leapt, and then cancel Dispersion with the Void Bolt. And I personally recommend putting a cancel or a dispersion into your Void Bolt. It really, really helps me at least. And then immediately Bender and then go back into your rotation. You might have to play some catch up with Insanity, but you should be able to with no problems at all. But like that's going to be the best advice for Maiden that I can possibly give you. And it's just a little bit of RNG that you got to pray for, but it's the what are you using? Owl. Let's see that. Okay. Pretty sure. Did you have Owl up on this? No, you did not. Okay. Casts Spectral Owl. Next song. I don't feel like listening to Rammstein. Okay. So here's your Void Form here. 46 stacks. So at 520, if you're getting to 40, or if you're getting to 41 stacks. So at 519 here, you should have cast your Owl. And You cast it a little earlier, that's fine, because your void forms are a little shorter. But like a lot of it, yeah, like a lot of it is just you need to tighten up your rotation and you need to think ahead of your fights. So like Maiden is an excellent example. You know, and just do what I explained to you beforehand. But really, that's going to be the best thing that you can do to improve your DPS on this fight. Now, that all aside, the fact that you're still doing this much DPS with all these mistakes is kind of bad. Oh no, sorry, that's just in that window. Oh man, I was like, wow. Okay, but like it'll really improve your DPS overall. And then, of course, you know, picking up more of these buffs. Like you only had 2 stacks of Demon's Vigor. Like tell your raid to stack and quit being shitbirds. But let's see. I know I have somebody else's logs I was going to look at. Okay. Striker 6. This was going to be your logs, I think. Alright, no. You were just linking something. Okay, so you have a log for Heroic DI. Okay. Okay. I'm gonna guess you're Venom Star? Just a wild guess out there. Yeah, no, I saw. What was your specific question then? Because it just says, like, scrolling up, I'm gonna submit this for Heroic DI, figure out how I lost this by 180k to the other priest. Okay. So, let's see here. Let's actually just compare you two, because that'll be the easiest way to see it. So I'll put you first, because, you know, why not? So, alright. You both have around the same amount of haste and the same amount of crit, like actually almost identical. They have 3k more mastery than you, and you have 1k more verse than them, and they have 2k more int. So that alone is probably a little bit. But let's see. You only have 58 traits, they have 61. Let's see. You both have Belt Cephas, okay. They have an Owl, you have a Thurible, and they have a 910 Arcano. And you have a Terror from Below. Their artifact weapon is slightly better than yours. Let's see. Yeah. So, looking at this. Okay. Void Forms. Alright. So, his Void Forms are slightly better first off. And then you move ahead, and then his last Void Form is pretty good. So, on Void Forms, you're both even-ish. He just had a bit better RNG the first time, and the second time he screwed it up. I'm actually pretty sure he torrented. Twice? Nope. Oh, he torrented super late. Like, why? Okay, that's weird. Alright, let's see. Your Void Form uptime. And Masha, will get to your logs after this. Let's see. Your Void Form uptime is really good for both of you. So now I just want to check your buffs. Alright, you both pre-potted. Okay. You both have really good Twist of Fate uptime. Like identical Twist of Fate uptime. While you're in Insanity. So you spent slightly more time outside of Void Form than he did. And he got one more Concordance proc. Oh man. He also procced Cephas one more time than you did, which helps. Let's see. He had 6 more void bolts than you, and I'm willing to bet that his uptime was better on... Nope. Your uptime was better on those. Did you also... Did you not go down at all? Okay. So in this last little bit, I want to look at everything right before it. Okay. So, honestly, dude, it looks like it's just RNG. Like, that's it. He got more crits, and he has more mastery. Like, that's it. Yeah. But yeah, like, his mastery is what pushed him ahead. His mastery and crit being better than yours. That's it. So, I mean, there's not really a whole lot you can do about that. Yeah, well, it's not just RNG, though. It's mastery, too. Like, RNG certainly helps, but that 3k mastery is what made the difference. Especially on 2 targets like that. That and the fact that in the last, like, 10 seconds of the fight, you decided to not go down into the realm, which, fine. Like, what are you gonna do? But... Are these logs? Well, whatever. Actually, they're not even your logs. They're Cityfin's logs. Whoever the hell that is. So, okay. Moving on. And hopefully that answers your question. But moving on to Mosh. Alright, oh god. Why didn't that one open? Oh. Okay. Oh, that's weird. There we go. Okay, I'm gonna guess you the Shadow Priest named Holy Spec. Farm Nether Shards for Arcano, because, you know, even if you do that, your DPS is still gonna suck. No, yeah, you're not missing anything, dude. Like, he just has more mastery than you, and then, you know, like, slight RNG there, and that's the only difference. Well, they were both getting pretty decent stacks. Like, Venomstar actually had higher Void Form stacks, so he was getting more from Mass Hysteria. But because they were so similar, at that point, Mastery is the deciding factor between those two priests. And because the other priest had 3k more Mastery, that made up the difference. Quite larger than I would actually think it is, so it was probably just lucky crits as well. I mean, I could go back and look, but why? Of course, I'm now gonna look. Let's see. Let's see. Crit percent. So, yeah, your Vampiric Touch crit more. And just because of that, you did more damage. And your Vampiric Touch crit more. Yeah. Your Vampiric Touch, for some reason, had 50% crit on both of them, which is kind of hilarious. So, that's part of it. No, you guys had the same amount of haste. Both have 11.4k. You actually had more haste than him in this log. You had more haste. You had the same amount of crit with like a 10 crit difference. That's nothing. And you had 3k more mastery. Yeah, it's old logs. But okay, Mosh, if you are here, I will wait for you while I drink this. I'm about to go over your logs. Okay, awesome. Oops, I clicked the wrong buff. So, okay, your void form. The first thing that I see right here is you popped void form. Your void form ended, and then you went into another one. Why did you do that? Oh, huh. Okay, so I'm guessing the boss was just still down. Wow. Lucky you, man. Okay. So, to look at this, you have Cephas Belt, you have Thurible, and you have Terror from Below. Excellent legendaries for this fight. And excellent trinkets for this fight, too. You have 12.5k haste, 10.2k crit, 2.6k mastery, and a hell of a lot of verse. Holy shit, dude. Your talents look fine. You have 58 artifact traits. Yeah, alright. It's pretty dank, dude. Alright, so... looking at your casts in this window, because the only thing that steps out to me, and the reason that you had to exit your void form early and look at all this other stuff, or go back into void form, is because you messed up the rotation somewhere. So, when did you torrent? Okay, so you torrented later, and I'm just gonna give you some advice here for Kil'jaeden only, and this is only Kil'jaeden. Try and go for the double torrent on Kil'jaeden, only in the first phase. And the reason for that is because, I don't know if you were in here earlier, but your Void Torrent will be up and your Mindbender will be back up by the time Kil'jaeden exits the intermission. It's roughly a minute long. So it'll either be coming off cooldown or already be off cooldown by the time he lands. So you want to disperse, generally what I do going into Void form is I'll pop Void Eruption, I'll Mind Blast, Void Bolt, Torrent immediately. And I do that for pretty much every single Void form. It's a good practice to get into as long as there's no mechanics that are going to require you to move momentarily after that. But then, you just keep on going. So looking at your Mind Blast, I wish I could make these a different color, but whatever. Nope, I can't. So your flays, okay. You could flay a bit more. You use Dispersion at the end of your Void form here, I think, to try and save it. But you might have dispersed just a tad too late. When did you bender? You bendered here. Just kidding, buffs. Okay, so for Kil'jaeden, something that you can do, and it's a little risky, but once you get it down, you can really pull it off, is save your bender until the ads are dead. And what you can do is once the ads are dead, because you had Twist of Fate uptime, right? So right about here is your window of golden opportunity. Alright, so that is when the ads are in Shadow Word Death range. And when you can use the extra insanity from Shadow Word Death to push your bender all the way up to 35 stacks. And what you should be doing is just playing and void bolting off the boss. Don't even worry about Mind Blast here, because what you're gonna want to do is you're gonna Shadow Word Death up to 35 stacks. Once you hit 35 stacks, you're going to have that 10 stack of the 2-piece, and you're going to Void Bolt, Mindbender, Mind Blast, and that'll put you up to full insanity, and then you'll just go back into the normal rotation. It's going to be a little risky, and you might almost drop out of Void form, but if you do it right, you won't. Does that make sense to you, Mosh? Okay, so, I mean, that's just a little thing you could do to help you on the opener. And then, let's see here, you get 53 stacks. That's pretty good. You probably just had some RNG issues. That's fine. And this next one, you dropped out early. Guessing it's because a mechanic you had to handle, that kind of thing. So, that's just something you're going to have to improve on. And, I noticed as the fight goes on, your Void forms get a little worse and worse and worse. You seem to struggle a bit with movement, and there's only so much you can do on that, but looking at your maiden or your avatar kill, movement is your kryptonite, and you're just gonna have to get better at playing with movement and learn to stutter step cast and play around the bigwigs or DBM timers. So for Kill Jaden, you know when Armageddon is going to happen. It's very, very easy. Oh god, that is not the ability that I wanted. Actually, this is a good ability. Let's look at enemies, Kill Jaden, Armageddon. Okay, so his first cast of Armageddon is right here. So what I like to do personally is when we start the fight, I do my normal rotation, I get into void form as soon as possible, and I hold my torrent, not too long, but if there is a Armageddon pool near me, then I go stand in it, and then I start channeling torrent immediately. If it's way far away, I start channeling torrent immediately, don't even bother to move because somebody else can get it because I need to start ramping now, and that's more important. Your guild might yell at you for that, but hey man, it's all about pushing DPS sometimes. And then the next Armageddon is after he goes into the air. So you have almost a solid minute and 10 seconds between the first Armageddon and the second Armageddon. And in that minute and 10 seconds, you need to pump out as much DPS as possible. Now, the next thing that he does is the Shadow Eruption, which is the adds. So he starts casting that at 20 seconds. Now, about right here, you'll be at 15 to 20 stacks. Sorry, no. You'll be at, like 13, 15, 16 stacks of Void Form right when those adds get cast on people, and then people start stacking. And then when they start wailing, that's a tank ad. Sources. Oh god. Why did I do that? I might have broken Warcraft logs. Okay. All sources. We are looking at not the Wailing Reflection. Shadow Soul. Nope, not Shadow Soul. God damn it. Okay. So your guys' thing lasted not that long at all. But a good solid, 10 seconds. And in that 10 seconds, you're able to, flay off them, get your stacks up, and you were roughly at about 35 stacks when they died. That is the absolute perfect thing that you want. It is like the wet dream, because then what you can do after that is you can pop your bender, do what I talked about before, and then push yourself to that second torrent. Now, what you want to do if you don't have the owl here, but good advice for if you do have the owl, you want to pop the owl at like 45 stacks. It'll be up by the time your next big void form comes up, that kind of thing. And it's definitely worth. Actually, I think it's up right after the intermission. I can't remember exactly, but it'll be worth the DPS increase, the second torrent, and you'll spike close to like 1.3 mil DPS on the opener, which is amazing. But until then, you just need to work on movement and everything else for that fight. Your opener is decent. You don't quite peak a mil, which you could if you change your strat to what I tell you. And you'll probably be right up here with your Demon Hunters. And they'll be like, what the fuck? Why is there a Shadow Priest up here? But does that make sense to you, Mosh? Also, I'm about done here because I have no more logs to analyze. So before I take off, if there are any more logs, please post them in the chat now. Otherwise, this is going to be the end of the stream, guys. Oh, somebody mentioned me. Okay. Yep. Yeah. And playing a bit greedy sometimes does pay off, especially on a Kill Jaden. The DPS in the beginning really doesn't matter because you're just trying to push the phase as fast as possible. Looking here, so you guys do get your Rupturing Singularity. My old guild usually pushed right about here at the minute and 3 mark. And that was right before the rupturing spawns. And by doing that, like, you want to push it before you get Armageddon, or your second Armageddon, because if you don't, you'll get Armageddon, and when he goes in the air, you'll get Armageddon again, and that sucks. But, like, I could definitely look at your host log. Did you link it? I don't see it. Oh, it was in the logs earlier. Oh, it's private? Yeah, you'll have to link me a log. Yeah, well, I mean, that's not just TOS, though. That's pretty much any kind of fight, so. Okay. This little host mythic. But, yeah, Mosh, like, that's the best advice I can give you, man. You just gotta work on movement and stutter step casting. You're doing okay comparatively to the rest of your raid here, though, Breaker. So, let's see how your void form is. Okay, 59, 55, 60, 60. Okay, so your void form is phenomenal. So, that is definitely good. You have Belt and Cephas and well, Sisters phasing really doesn't affect our DPS because, like, if Sisters phases, you can just, you know, disperse. But yeah, KJ is like the worst Shadow Priest fight in existence. And it totally caters to classes with cooldowns, which is pretty much every class except us. So, let's see here. Your uptime is good. Alright, and then let's look at your... I was thinking DI for some reason, so I was looking at Torment. How is your Cephas, though? Okay, your Cephas is okay. You could probably proc it a bit more, but that's not entirely terrible. Your Twist of Fate uptime is really good. Like, there's not a whole lot you can do to improve this log, unfortunately. Maybe a bit more Void Bolts, that could be it. Oh god, shadowy apparitions everywhere. Yeah, like, there's some minor gaps in your Void Bolts where you delayed it, and it's really obvious when you look out like this, and as a matter of fact, I will add a filter for just Void Form. Where are you? You are... okay. What the fuck? Holy shit, stop doing that. Huh. Okay, well, it's not letting me create a filter. That's great. Buffs. Absent. Or no, sorry. Present. Good form. Filter. There we go. Okay. So I'm going to look at your cast again. Alright. And then your Void Bolts. So... oh, okay. This should have actually filtered it. But... okay. So, like... okay, there we go. Change pen. Alright, yeah, so, like, you have some gaps in your Void Bolts, dude. And, yeah, Mosh, hopefully it helps you out, man. And, like, just let me know on Discord in, like, a week or, you know, after you do it next to see if you got some improvement. I'd like to know if, you know, like, my advice actually helps you. Yeah, private logging sucks. Let's see. So something you could do about when she phases, and it's a little tricky to pull off, but you can actually bolt, silence, and then pain her. And your Mindbender should swap immediately. Because you need like 2 or 3 casts on a target for Bender to swap, otherwise he just sits there like a dumb fuck. So, for Troll Racial, you can use it to line up on the last 10 seconds of your Void form. I think it's only a 10 second buff, maybe it's 12 seconds. I can't remember exactly. But you should pop it when you use out, if you have that. If anybody has any other logs before I go, I will happily review them. But otherwise, that is going to be the end of the stream. I really appreciate everybody watching. I hope everybody learned something today. This is something that I plan on making a weekly stream at the same time on Wednesdays, every day, or every week, not every day, good God. I like you guys, but I don't like looking at logs that much. But hopefully you guys learned some tips and tricks. It would really help me if you subscribed to the stream. You don't have to, that's fine. A follow is perfectly fine. And make sure that you follow me on Twitter. I post every time I go live. I post stuff about Twitch, that kind of thing. Where's my OBS? Breaker, I really appreciate the follow, dude. And yeah, your death usage could probably be better. But let's actually look at that real quick and get rid of Void Ball. Yeah, it could be. But I mean, sometimes it's the best that you got. Your TOF uptime is awesome. But everybody, I really appreciate it. And I will see you guys around the How to Priest Discord, or the official WoW Discord, or the Wowhead Discord, or the Icy Veins Discord, or in game if you can find me somewhere on Sargeras on the Alliance side in the guild's call up Get Well Soon. But I will catch you guys later. Thank you, and have a good one.